Okay, prior to this video, I made a whole 30-minute video about the update review on Under.rng, so I'm just gonna try to keep it under 15 minutes because clearly I can't stop myself from talking too much. Alright, without further ado, let's just instantly begin as to what has been added and all that other stuff. Alright, so let's talk about the main things that were added this update. So, 4 new items, well, 5 new items, 1 new stance, new badges, and a reworked boss fight. So let's begin with the miscellaneous items first, and then we'll move on to accessories and then weapons. So let's begin with the new miscellaneous item, which is Crazed Demise. Um, it's an evolution to its original counterpart, which is called Corrupted Demise. Essentially, it is much more better than the original counterpart, obviously due to it being an evolution of its original counterpart. And what this item does is it gives you a much better HP regen than the original accessory. It gives you more walk speed than the original accessory. The attacks it has is quicker, and it also has a new passive ability where it starts making spikes fall upside down. So let's say a spike is falling down like in any other Sans RNG game like this normally, right? Well, these spikes fall down like this. They literally just fall upside down, and they create an AoE that does a good amount of damage. Here's a clip showing the item and what it does and how it looks in game. And yeah, I won't be talking about that too much. It requires a lot of stuff. The main ingredient of the weapon is Crazed Corrupt Malware Code, which is 1 in 36 million to get. No, essentially, it's not 1 in 36 million, but to be more precise, it's a 1 in 6 chance every time you get corrupted malware code, which is a 1 in 6 million, and since it's a 1 in 6 chance, you just multiply the odds together, and essentially it's 1 in 36 million. That's the main ingredient of the weapon. That's pretty much it for the weapon, and now I'll move on to the next miscellaneous item, which is Godly Assist. So just like any other quote-unquote pet or assist in other Sans RNG games, this one summons God Sans behind you, and essentially he just dishes out attacks towards Sansa's on the map. Nothing crazy. It has Trident, Bones, and I think Gaster Blasters, if I'm not wrong. Sorry if I am. Here's a clip showing how the item looks in-game and what it does. And yeah, basically, this item also provides you with a health boost, which is 999 max HP plus, and a certain walk speed boost that I don't remember exactly how much, but I think it's 16, somewhere around 16. Yeah. Alright, well, that's a short description for the new miscellaneous items, and now let's move on to armors. So now there's 2 new armors, one normal armor and one evolution armor. So well, let's start with the normal armor that got added. It's called Insanity Hood. Now this item is not that hard to, it's not that hard to get, but also it's not that good. Reason being is an item that's supposedly quote unquote worse than this Insanity Hood is somehow better, even though Insanity Hood requires a 1 in 1.6 million sands as its main ingredient, and the quote-unquote worst item is essentially requires a 1 in 900k sands. And I won't be comparing the damages and all that, but I will say that it's worse than the mythical item, aka my Doom strings. Those who know. And yeah, basically, let's continue back on the topic. Basically, um, this accessory provides an HP boost of 1.6k HP, if I'm not wrong, hopefully, and it also provides you with a 20 to 25, somewhere around that range, walk speed boost. Now, it's pretty good. The stats are pretty good, and it also provides you with two new passive abilities. One is Gaster Blaster starts summoning, with one of them having a chance to be a stronger version of a Gaster Blaster. And the second passive ability are Slashes. Um, the damage isn't great, and low-key, I wouldn't even use it personally if I had gotten it, if I was early game. Here is a clip showing how how the accessory looks in game and what it does. And yeah, as you can see, it kind of sucks buns. Anywho, um, let's move on to the next item the next new item in the accessories, and that is Hooded Corruption, if I remember correctly. Yeah, basically, it's an evolution of the previous item I mentioned, aka Insanity Hood, and it's low-key the best item in the game. It's super crazy. The stat bonuses it provides is 16k plus max HP, and also provides you with a 40 plus walk speed boost. Now, those stats are incredible, literally the best in games so far. Like, I'm really happy that they finally added a new a new best armor in the game after months of the game being released. It has three passive abilities, and I'll be describing them right now. So, um, the new passive abilities. Let's start with the first one, the Axe Slashes. Now, the Axe Slashes, just like how it's in the boss fight, the Axe Slashes, these Axe Slashes are way different. Like, they spam, like you spam them, non-stop spamming. Like these Axe Slashes have no cooldown. Like, they just continue shooting at every sans on the map, and it's low-key kind of crazy. The Axe Slashes are not random. They do target a stance on the map. Of course they do. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the first attack. The second attack are the Gaster Blasters. Now these Gaster Blasters, they show up above the user, and it's basically just Gaster Blasters aiming down at Sans cubes, and they just deal a couple damage. The blasters have a small chance of appearing stronger, which will deal around 100 damage to the Sanses. Low-key, very good. And yeah, it covers a nice wide area of the map as well. Nothing more to say about it, really. Now let's move on to the third attack. Now the third attack is our falling cubes. So essentially, literally, as the name of the attack says, like the random objects well, they're not specifically cubes, but rather objects. Basically, random objects start falling down on the map and and obviously just deals damage to sans that get in the range of this attack. I'm not sure how much, but it is a pretty good attack considering it covers a wide area of the map as well. And again, it's pretty good for farming in general, and or any sort of boss in general. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the attack descriptions. Here is a clip showing how the accessory looks in game. And yeah, that's it for the accessories, and now let's move on to the weapon. Now, this weapon has nothing special to it, really. Basically, when you click the... Oh my god. So, basically, this weapon has nothing that special to it. It is, if I have to say myself, depending on the situation, it could be worse or better than Glaring Judgment. But again, I gotta describe it to you guys what the weapon does. So, it's a ranged weapon. Basically, you have this giant sword, and what you do is you slam the sword on the ground and create like a sort of fire, fire, fire floor, like in front of you, dealing chip damage towards Sansa's. Deals around 150 damage per hit. But the thing that makes this item terrible is that while the item is in use, aka you slamming your sword on the ground and doing the attack, it basically stops you from moving temporarily. And basically, while you're in this attack animation or sequence, whatever you call it, right? You're just stuck in place for like the next 4 or 5 seconds, which leaves you open for many attacks, which is not good. Depending on the boss, of course, as I previously mentioned. Um, there's nothing much else to say about the weapon besides it having major downsides and it being like an okay weapon compared to Glaring Judgment. I mean, Glaring Judgment, in my opinion, is flawless. I really do think it's flawless. So yeah. Anywho, here's a clip of the weapon in game and how it looks and what it does. And yeah, now that's it for the new items added into this update. Now let's move on to the new sands that has been added in this update, which is Corruption Sands. Now, Corruption Sands isn't too special. Um, I unfortunately don't have footage of this sands, but essentially it's the most common global in the game right now, where it's standing. Um, it's 1 in 175,000. It gets affected by luck as well, which is good. And yeah, as I said previously, this sense has nothing much special on it, aside from being the most common global in the game. Again. Anywho, now let's move on to... Alright, now, the last thing about the update are the new badges and the new boss rework. I actually did make a video on it, aka the boss rework, and that is the new Corrupt True Insanity boss rework. I made a whole guide about it. I won't talk about it in this video, but basically, instead of him being a sub-place boss now, he is a in-game boss. Oh, Jesus Christ. Basically, he doesn't teleport you to a new place every time he gets summoned. You just fight him in the server you're in, and that's pretty simple to say the least. And yeah. Now the new badges are from this boss actually. The first one is when you beat him normally by losing a life or two, or maybe more, depending on how your situation is on the boss. Basically, This badge actually gives you a personal benefit to your private server. Basically, what it does is it gives you a max luck cap boost. This badge, and you go from max luck, which is 5x, with the max luck cap boost game pass to 10x max luck. And low key, it's good except for the part. And yeah, that's pretty much it towards what that badge does. Now for the second badge. This second badge is, I guess you could say, quote unquote secret. Not really, but basically, if you beat the boss without losing a life, um, you get a very good boost, personal boost to your private server. And basically, what it does is boost your luck gain by a lot. Now, for example, let's say in the usual terms, getting max luck takes around 12 hours, 24 to 25 hours if you have the first badge, and with this second quote unquote secret badge, um, it cuts down that time from 12 hours or 24 to 25 hours to 30 minutes tops, and it's really good. Literally, as I said before, it literally just takes 30 minutes to gain max luck in your PS now. That's pretty much how I can shorten it in a way. Shorten what I'm saying in a way. Jesus Christ. Anywho, uh, yeah, that's pretty much it for the update review and all that. Now, what I would criticize about this update, Loki, is that sure there may have been like a lot more items added, and that does give the game more content, but I would like it if there was more ways to get like luck, or I don't know, a certain boost where it boosts like how fast Sanses spawn and all that, because in this game you can't stack the items, aka you can't stack like multiple item effects you get. So in this game you have a clover item which gives you 0.5x more luck, and then you have another item called Hyperdrive Core, which makes Sansa's spawn 25% faster. And you can unfortunately only have one of them active, because let's say I use Clover first, right? And then I use Hyperdrive Core. Um, Unfortunately, the Hyperdrive Core benefits override the previous item I used, aka Clover. So I'm not getting a 0.5x luck boost and a 25% sand spawn rate increase. I'm only getting a 25% sand spawn rate increase, unfortunately, and not the 0.5x luck boost as well, which essentially would mean you'd be wasting two items for a simple, unfortunate, say no, to say the most, game mechanic. And yeah, the one thing I also have to criticize is there's actually, no, not the one thing. There's two more things I have to say about the whole update. Uh, the items were good. The miscellaneous item additions were also good. The accessories were also pretty good. We needed a new best accessory in this game because I was tired of using overkill wings for like a 2 weeks straight, because that was the best in-game accessory for months on end. Um, the new transcendent weapon is kind of buns, and I hope it gets a buff or a rework, because I feel like a lot more people will be using glaring judgment more than the new transcendent weapon. Um, and the last thing I have to criticize is The first CTI badge you get by beating the boss, where it increases your luck cap. Um, the th I don't like how it takes 25 hours. I used AI to quickly calculate. I don't like how it takes 25 hours now to reach max luck. Now, I may understand that, like, max luck before was 5x, and with this badge it becomes 10x. But the thing is, um, it's just that I don't know. I may get something before I get max luck boost, and like the what if scenario is like, what if I don't get something? What if in these 25 hours I don't get a sub place boss, or I don't get anything at all, and I just grinded max luck for no reason at all? I feel like getting max luck earlier would help out a lot of people much more, considering, again, people will have to stay longer to reach max luck now. And again, that's unfortunate, not just for me, but for the people who have the badge themselves. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to criticize for the update. My official rating for the whole update is a 7.5. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy with the update, but again, some things could have been better. Some things could have been better executed. Now, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Bye-bye.
Carrera de buses, carrera de buses.